Okay, so in this tutorial, we'll go over step by step how to vote once you receive your ballot in the mail after you've registered for the vote by mail for the neighborhood council election on June 19th. So this is what the envelope looks like. You'll see that it's from the LA City Clerk Election Division, and you'll have your name and your information here, along with the neighborhood council district that we belong to. So inside the envelope, you'll see three pieces of paper. One is the instruction sheet. You'll see that Wilshire Center, Koreatown Neighborhood Council subdivision election, returning your vote by mail ballot. So step one, place your vote by mail ballot into the return envelope. This is the return envelope, and this is what it looks like. So on the front, you'll see your information up top and your neighborhood council information, and then it's going to return back to Los Angeles City Clerk Election Division. That's the front, and this is the back. Okay. It says number 2, complete the signature portion of the return envelope and provide the requested information. Number 3, place postage on the return envelope and mail. Please allow ample time for delivery to the election division office. Your neighborhood council to subdivision election day is Tuesday, June 19, 2018. All vote by mail ballots returned by mail must be received by the city clerk election division by 5 p.m. Tuesday, June 19, 2018. Any vote by mail ballot received by our office after the deadline will not be counted regardless of the postmark date. And that's really important for us to recognize here, is that we need to make sure that the ballots are received by the city clerk election division by 5 o'clock on Tuesday, June 19th. So when you give time, when you consider the amount of time that it will get to the election, the division, when you mail it, so this is why it's critical for us to expedite our process of registering to vote by mail, making sure that as soon as we get our ballot that we utilize the ballot and we return it as soon as possible. And then right below that it says, if you believe your vote by mail ballot will not be received by the City Clerk Division by 5 p.m. on Tuesday, June 19, 2018, you may choose to 1, vote at your polling place on election day. If you do not have your ballot to surrender, you'll be asked to vote provisionally. And what that means is that you should, if you've already registered to vote by mail, and you feel like you don't have enough time to, send it to the post office, and if you feel like it won't meet that cutoff deadline, then you want to take your vote by mail, your ballot, to the election site on June 19th, Tuesday. If you don't do that, if you don't surrender this ballot on that day, then you have to ask for a provisional ballot. And what that means is that it'll take longer for your vote to be counted, because they have to go through the system and erase the ballot that you received, and then go with the provisional ballot that you received on election day. And then number 2 is authorize someone to drop off your vote by mail ballot at your polling place on election day. And below it says it has the time and location of the election, which is polling date and hours are Tuesday, June 19th, 2 to 8 p.m. And the locations are Harvard Elementary School, Multi-Purpose Room, 330 North Harvard Boulevard. And the other location is Founders Church of Religious Science, Hornaday Hall, 3281 West 6th Street. So that's the information paper that comes with your ballot. Now we're going to look at our ballots. For me, I received it on it's like a orangish, yellowish paper, and you'll see the instructions for how to fill out your ballot. Instructions: fill in the oval completely with blue or black ink only. So you can't use your pencil to do this. And then it goes down to the actual ballot content, which says, the Wilshire Center Little Bangladesh Formation Committee proposes to subdivide the Wilshire Center Koreatown Neighborhood Council to establish the Wilshire Center Little Bangladesh Neighborhood Council. And it's going to give you just one option, or 2 options, and you want to choose one. So are you in favor of the Wilshire Center Little Bangladesh Neighborhood Council subdivision proposal. And for us, for our sake, for KAC's sake, we want to say no. And so I can do that right after. And so underneath it says city clerk, end of ballot, and election. So now after you've filled in the bubble, what you want to do is place it in this green envelope. And this is what it looks like here. And this is the back. So before I place my ballot inside the envelope, this is what you need to do. You want to make sure you sign this area here. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. You want to print your name here, followed by your signature, and then your address, your stakeholder address, in which, so if I work in this district and I want to put the, however I applied, whatever I use as my stakeholder address, you want to make sure that that you write that in there. Followed by the city, state, and zip, and then you want to write down the date of your signing. And if by chance you are designated somebody else to deliver your ballot, you want to make sure that you state that, right? So it says, I designate the following agent to return my ballot for me. So you want to print the name of the person who's delivering the ballot. You want to write down the relationship that you have. It could be a friend or a colleague, or a caretaker, and then followed by the signature of that person who's delivering your ballot on your behalf. And so after you bubble in your decision, you want to make sure that this is sealed, and you want to take a stamp and place it on your envelope like that, and make sure that you take it to your post office and submit your ballot.